Vinny, Alex, and Dan.
Hello.
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 Whole crew's back in town for some Katamari Reroll.
Rolled us all up for this here quick look.
Yes, I guess technically it's Katamari Damacy Reroll.
Yes.
Damacy? I never know how to pronounce it.
I've heard it both. Even in the songs, sometimes it sounds like different things.
In the intro song, he definitely says Damacy.
Yeah.
Oh, Damacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just say
Katamari Damacy.
You know what? I say whatever I feel like.
That's right. That's what Katamari is great about, making you feel like rolling something up and smoking it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Are we?
Okay,
I'm sorry. Are we? Are we rolling one and blazing here?
That's blaze those stars.
Yeah, that's what this game's about.
Yeah,
honestly, this game probably would be very fun stoned.
I have no personal experience with that.
I don't endorse.
The king of all cosmos is the reason this game starts is he went around trashing all the stars.
Yeah, he was fucked up and ran into the stars.
Okay, he was using alcohol.
Yes, so
legal.
This is Katamari. It is a game that came out for the PS2 quite a long time ago. It is now on Switch and I believe PC for about $30. Vinny, you can double check if
on
that's
both
correct.
fronts.
I can double check that, but I think that's right.
But it is a great game. It was a great game then. It is basically just ported, kind of rezzed up a bit, but really not a lot has changed.
Yeah, like cleaned up certainly from where it was, but functionally the same game.
Yes, and we'll talk. I wish they updated some aspects of it, which we can talk about when we get into it. But let's show what this game is. So you are playing as the prince. I am the prince here. And my father is the king of all cosmos. And my father did an oopsie, and he destroyed all the stars in the galaxy.
Yes. He's a weird idiot.
He's a weird idiot, and I really love him a lot.
He's well-meaning. He makes mistakes, though.
Yes. So my task is to go to Earth and remake all the stars. Basically, I'm rolling things up, and I'm remaking stars. So let's go in and make a star. I'm trying to find... Yeah, let's do star 6.
Okay.
So usually these stars will have a time limit, and then you have to roll up to a certain size within that time limit.
And sometimes you have to get specific bullshit in your ball.
Yes.
Very specific bullshit.
Which we'll show a little later on, usually for the constellations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tend to prefer the ones where it's just, hey, get your ball real big.
Yes, agreed.
Oh, I like the specific stuff a lot.
I like them to break it up, but like if I'm going to play like one level, I tend to like, I can't tell you how many times I played that last level that has the really long version of the main theme. Where that's the one where you're like rolling up islands and shit at the end.
20 minutes is a time limit.
That's the one I did over and over in college.
Yeah. Me too. That one was also frustrating if you failed it because it's so long.
Yes.
Yeah.
It helps that it's fun.
Yes, it does.
And the music's great the entire time.
I will also say I'm playing it on the Switch. So this game, the mechanics, like the way you move is like a little unusual. I'm very used to it because I've been playing this game forever. But I will say the Switch's like analog sticks are not the best, but it's still pretty good for this game.
I found that with the Pro Controller, it's a very negligible difference.
Yes. Yeah. I don't have one, but I would imagine it would be better.
Also, it seems like all of us played a whole lot of it back in the day, and so it probably came back to us pretty quick, whereas if this is your first time playing, there's probably a bit of a curve to the controls.
Totally.
I would imagine
a curve, if you will. Yes, like round, like a ball.
Exactly.
Gotta roll your way into it.
It is $30 on both the Switch and PC.
Great. Thank you,
no
Vinny.
PS4, no Xbox One at this time, which...
I don't think they could run it. It's pretty demanding.
Clearly.
Yeah.
The ball does get very big.
Yes. I will say I think this is a great Switch game. It's good for on the go, good for little bite-sized chunks.
Headphones.
Headphones. This is, I still think, one of the best music in like soundtracks in any game.
I agree.
No question. No question at all.
It is. I think Jeff said something similar, but this was one of the first games that made me like import a soundtrack and I need this on my computer immediately.
Yes.
This would be a very hot contender for music of the year
if it were new.
If it were new,
Yeah.
A very strong. It wouldn't win clearly.
Yeah. I think it would win.
I think it would, if we were talking like greatest soundtracks of all time, like that's in the top 5 consideration.
I was just joking.
Well, I'm not. I'm deathly serious about my Katamari soundtrack.
It's good.
It is about the most fitting soundtrack a game could ever have.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
And it's very listenable. I listened to it outside of this game 20 years later or whatever. I don't think this game's 20 years old.
Would you say that it slaps?
I don't really know that phrase. I'm not young in that way where I know good slang.
Okay.
Do you know
Why do I know it then?
Yeah, that's a good
what
question.
What happened to me? Did I just do a big thing? Like,
Did you follow a bunch of children on Twitter?
Have I been doing the Tom Hanks big thing all this time, and now I've just reverted back to being 13 years old?
Maybe. Anyway, so this is the main thing of the game. I'm going around, I'm rolling stuff up, I'm finding whatever I want to find, little toilet papers, little cats. Sometimes things will like scurry away from me. Sometimes things are a little too big and I have to knock them over before I can roll them up.
I think the one thing, if there were a change that they could make in bringing this to modern consoles that maybe would break the game, but if they could make it so that they didn't have to do that weird quick crossfade when you get a bigger size.
Oh, sure.
If it's just like, we're just... Because, they have to delete smaller items from your Katamari and stuff like that.
Which
if they could just have
later.
everything on there, it would be kind of amazing.
I agree 100%. I also wish that this game, since they did update it, like I have to manually save every time.
Yes,
right.
Which feels very old and is a little frustrating on like a mobile console where it's like, oh, I played a thing and then I set it down and then it died because I didn't charge it and I wasn't paying attention and now I have to go back and do it again.
Luckily, most levels are fairly short outside of those later ones we're talking about where it's like 20 minutes.
It's not a huge thing. Also, I'll show you this later on, but there are collectibles you can get, being presents and cousins.
Yes.
So cousins are very much like the little prince here. But unfortunately with the cousins you collect, you cannot play as them unless you're doing 2-player.
Right.
I think the second game
Yes.
is when they started making those just like regularly playable.
And it was like, that was a mainstay in every other game after, and I wish this game just incorporated it because I really loved playing as my little cousins.
Yeah, getting the weird little friends.
And it was just a nice incentive. I also forgot to give him little clothes before we went in here, but I'll show you his cool outfit after this.
Yeah, there's a present in every stage.
Yes.
I like that the king, when you go play the cousins versus thing, is like, I've completely forgotten who the prince is or what the prince looks like. Are you the I don't even care, really. You're the new prince.
I will say, I think that this also has some of the best game dialogue.
Totally.
It's like very consistently funny. There's a lot of really fun, clever little just gags in it.
Yeah.
It's just a silly little game.
Not to just keep quantifying everything about this game and where it ranks on lists, but like King of All Cosmos is probably a top 10 video game character of all time.
He's got
the best.
style.
He's amazing that he is like clearly very powerful, but like has what I appreciate about an all powerful being, that like they just don't care about the small stuff. Like what is a prince? Who are you? I don't care. I've lost track.
Well, and like true royalty, you can cause a gigantic problem, but then it becomes someone else's problem the second it needs to be fixed.
Also, I like that he is like, I'm going to send all this stuff to Earth. They love it when you suck it up. And meanwhile, people are just running away in horror.
Screaming.
It's very fun to roll a bunch of stuff up and have people like literally be like,
Yeah. It's really great once you get people stuck. You got a couple and their limbs are just flailing around all weird.
Like, people and birds are good.
When I first loaded this up on Switch, I was thinking like, oh, that's weird. They didn't seem to update the visuals at all. But then I thought about it, and it's like, well, it's such a weird abstract art style that like I don't want this to look like realistic or like I'm fine with this looking the way I remember it looking.
I feel like this. I love the look of this game.
Me too.
I think it ages very well. I think it looks stylistic and intentional.
And that's the thing, like,
versus, you know.
Yeah, that type of visual ages so much better than attempts at realism, because realism will look less realistic. Whereas
even
like
in like half a year.
Right. Whereas like something like The Wind Waker, you play that now and it's like, oh, that's just a cool art style.
Yeah, I think they changed the right things. Like they cleaned up the colors a little bit, and the frame rate seems to run a little better.
Do your super flip.
Get out of there.
You can do it.
I believe. I'm almost out. There we go.
Those sticks up and down.
You're almost there. You're almost there.
Go.
Oh god, this sucks.
Do a spin.
Oh, the spin
This
is honestly
hurts.
that's the hardest part. Is doing the spin.
Oh no.
How does this happen?
There you go. You're out.
All right.
You can turn this around.
Wow.
Hey.
Look, I've beaten it before.
This is what Katamari is.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you just get stuck.
Yeah.
Oh, that wrestler is not having it.
He's very strong.
Yeah. One complaint I have with this game that I don't remember being as much of an issue in the other games, and this is also just a thing that's like, just a thing that is a part of this game, I think, is sometimes I feel like I will roll up most of the items in an area and then not really am sure where to go next. And then it's usually like I discover like, oh, I should have gone up this hill. And I wasted like a minute and a half trying to find them.
They're not always great. I mean, sometimes they'll like point out like a direction for you to head in and where a gate is.
Unlock a gate, but some areas aren't really gated. It's just like, oh, here's a hill I just should have gone up. Like this. I always forget that there's this hill over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird that sometimes they make it so clear with the like, 10-meter hill, like the gates or whatever. Sometimes they don't.
Some of that is just, it's fun to explore, but it would every once in a while it would be nice if it was just a little more like, hey, go over here.
Here's like a trail of garbage to pick up that leads you up into this area with bigger items.
Yeah.
There's a city level that is similar to this, but it's the city level early on And I just remember going around in circles and circles, getting bigger every time. And that just felt great because you just come through the next time and you're like, got all the dogs. Then you come through the next time, like, got all the people.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I'm getting cars.
Yep.
And that just feels great. Like, look at all these people. They're so happy.
They love
They're
being
thrilled.
part of
Look at the
Katamari.
chef. He's having a good time.
They're going to become a star.
That's what they want for their life.
Yeah.
It's basically the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Totally.
That's how people turn into stars.
Yeah. King of
Get
all
'em.
cosmos is the star child.
Yeah.
I did it.
Good work.
But I still have some time left. Oh,
So
man.
let's use it.
Oh,
get
wow.
bigger.
I have 4 minutes left. I might pop out a little early since I've done it. but-
You should finish this one.
See how
Okay,
big you
you're
can get.
I want to see how big you can get.
Okay.
Are those cows?
Yes.
Sometimes the scale on things is weird.
Yeah, they're small cows. It's a calf.
It's like
Just getting shot at.
yeah. It's like they just must have had people with lists of objects just cranking things out.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe not sometimes talking to each other to have a scale of reference.
Well,
It's
that
like,
was a calf, it said.
okay.
So it was a baby calf.
It's still pretty small.
That would be a fun job. Just like, hey, list a bunch of bullshit.
It can only have 4 sides.
Yes.
Yes. And a lot of the stuff is very funny. There's a little, like, what's the word? Like a glossary, I guess,
Yes.
of items that you're picking up, which we'll check out later.
There's also like one of the constellation one is Gemini, and like so there you're just picking up pairs of everything.
Yes. That
And
was what I was going to show next.
It's not always super obvious which characters are pairs and not,
Yeah.
but when they are, they're marked as little sister or older brother
Yes.
or whatever. And sometimes it's just like
very
here's
funny.
here's 2 dead fish, one of which is the sister and brother.
You just got chubby fisherman and relaxing dude.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
If you can get that boat by the end.
Oh, man. I don't think
It's a
so.
big
Big
one.
boat.
I feel like there's not enough stuff for me to
Oh,
do.
you got
to
that
get
fence.
up there.
Get more of those fences. Those are huge.
I love when you get a
Oh,
giant thing that is way too
Those are a
unwieldy.
problem.
Oh, jeez.
I'll come
Yeah,
back
okay.
for 'em.
Like when you get a pencil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this music's so good.
That fucking bass line. I could just sit here and listen to this. I don't even need to talk. There's not really anything else to say. This is still Katamari Damacy, and that game is still one of the greatest games of all time.
Truly.
Get those fences.
There we go.
Yeah, fence it up.
Fence it up with extra fence. Do you guys enjoy Domino's pizza?
Oh, yeah.
One of my favorite things is ordering online with Domino's, and then if you don't get the extra cheese option, it asks you if you want extra cheese, and the response to it, the little pop-up of like extra cheese, is you being like, cheese it up with extra cheese.
Oh, that's
And it's my
fun.
favorite thing.
I
They're a
that you
fun
didn't-
company.
I like that you didn't wait for me to say no, and I appreciate that. You had a bit you wanted to do. You weren't gonna hear anything to the contrary.
Nope. It was a rhetorical question that
Yes.
set up the story I wanted to tell.
That's fair.
There's also fun stuff like I rolled up umbrellas. They were closed beforehand, and then I rolled them and they opened, which
Yep.
is like small and silly.
Get
but-
that guy on a prototype Segway.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a surfboard with wheels.
I think that's a skateboard.
The swan boat.
I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be flip.
No,
I'm just saying.
Look, it's a surfboard with wheels.
Okay.
Do you think they
It's a
could?
surfboard with wheels.
It is actually
It
a
is.
surfboard with
Yes.
wheels. You're totally right.
You know how they do dumb video game movies that never make sense or ever make it to market? Like,
Yes.
oh, we're gonna make the Asteroids movie. Or
Yes.
we're gonna make
The Tetris movie.
A
Rampage
Metal
is
Gear
making-
Solid movie.
I would at least watch a short of like a
Oh,
live
yeah.
action
Yeah.
Katamari.
I feel like I would want it to be like an animated series, like an anime, where each episode's like a half hour. It's like a silly, goofy thing. We're getting 1 star each time.
I just
Yeah.
want live. I want people running down the streets of Manhattan as like the prince is rolling a ball around.
Have you seen the poster for that Sonic the Hedgehog movie that just
Oh,
came
no.
out?
No.
The San Francisco Bridge, the Golden Gate Bridge one?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to see my Katamari with pores. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
yeah.
no, the Katamari guy would be the prince would be CG,
Okay.
but everybody else running and getting caught in the ball.
Who would play the King of all cosmos?
Oh man, Jeff Goldblum.
Gerard Butler. Jeff Goldblum would be.
Gerard Butler.
Yeah, Jeff
Gerard
Goldblum's
Butler.
not bad.
Clive Owen.
I think I just saw him in a movie on a plane. So that
Christian Bale.
Oh, you know
Christian
who would
Bale.
actually be
Yeah.
really good? John Hamm, because John Hamm's very funny.
Oh,
and he
sure.
has that like
Yeah.
classic.
I could see
handsomeness.
it.
He would be really good.
I would
See,
want.
there's a line that's just like, we have a piano lesson, so time to leave.
Yep.
Christian Bale would find some way to make his head actually oblong for the role.
yes, work on his codpiece.
Wow. So he's very happy. Sometimes he's mad with the size, and he'll get upset with you. I will say, as someone who played a lot of this game, I have never failed a level yet.
Ever, or just
Right.
in this version?
In this version.
Okay,
Yes,
I failed
have
one last
before,
night, and I
but,
felt bad about it.
This is smaller than the previous one I did, so let's create Stardust. Goodbye.
Oh, so you're not replacing your other... Oh.
Actually, maybe this is... I don't remember.
What does Stardust get you?
It's just more stuff to roll up later on.
Oh. The vegetable Stardust?
I think I just made a little, like, asteroid or something.
right.
So let's check out our overworld here really quick.
Put a scarf on.
Your home planet.
So this is where I save.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to save. Beep.
It is a weird
It's-
thing to have to think about in 2018. It's like, oh shit, I got to
is.
remember to save.
It's quick, and they actually have like a splash screen to remind you, like, hey, you have to save in this game. We are aware that's unusual.
There've been a couple of games recently that are like, whoa. We are not losing the ability to have you save. When I complain about autosave happening and exiting and you're going to lose it, this is not what I meant. Because there's a couple of games that I feel like in my memory I can think of now that are like, you're not saving unless I save, like Mega Man, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Put that belt on.
Yeah, Mega Man really needed to communicate that better.
So this is a little championship belt I won.
Yes.
The
Headphones.
presents I've rolled up, headphones. I feel like there's another present I rolled up that maybe it fell off my Katamari. I like this belt because it makes him look a little rotund.
Yeah.
Here's my championship belt. This is controller stuff. We don't really need to look into that. But this is my collections. This is where you can see all the items you have rolled up before. So I can look at, say, my size chart of like how big each thing is.
Weird.
Somewhat large. Let's look at my larger items. I haven't gotten a ton of large stuff yet, so I'm still sort of early in game. Weather station. We got a tiller. Just general large items.
What's the tree description? People get sad, it said?
Hold on, let me get over to it.
People get sad when it dies, but trim when it grows too big. That's true.
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah.
accurate.
Yes. There are people who water this. They take turns as well.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's just silly little
It's cute.
captions. Yes. You can look at locations.
What's in your photo album?
I don't know. That I'm not sure about because I can't. It's like not open, so I feel like I haven't taken photos. It might be a thing where later on I roll up a camera or something, but I might be misremembering.
Maybe they
that.
added a photo mode somewhere buried in there.
Yes.
This game is just so its own thing.
Yes.
There was never anything like it before. There hasn't really been anything like it since. I mean, you can see some of the DNA in like Donut County and stuff like that.
And yeah,
but, like,
there's obviously like Nobi Nobi Boy is very
Yeah.
much its own thing, and Wadham, obviously
Yes.
isn't out yet, but like
Right.
it certainly shares some sensibilities with this
Yeah.
game.
They come by
Totally.
it honestly, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And we can go look at our cousins here, which I believe are also things I've rolled up. They don't usually get as much fanfare as the presents do.
Let's-
They do in the second game,
What's
but not
wrong
in
with
this
your...
one.
Yes.
what's-
It's Jungle. I love Jungle. I just wish I could play as Jungle, but
Same.
it's kind of a
Yeah.
real stinker that I can't.
I want to hang out with that ramen bowl over there.
Oh, Miso?
Yeah. Cousin
There she
Miso.
is.
Oh, that's nice.
Miso.
I like the magnet head.
Oh, this guy?
A lot of
Yeah.
good cousins.
Yeah,
his
see,
name?
the cousins are...
Fumin.
Fumin?
Ugh,
Cool.
It's hard to select. Oh, that's June. But they're just like fun, silly designs. Sometimes they're very specific to like the level you're in. I think especially in the later games.
Yeah.
Honestly, this game just really makes me want the second game. Because there
Yeah.
are a lot of very specific levels I remember in that game that I really loved.
Yep.
That kind of break the mold from some of these. But let's do a constellation. So we did the Gemini. Well, we talked about the Gemini one. We also have... Okay.
Bears.
Yeah, we'll do the bear one last because I'm bad at it. Let's do this crown. Well, I think the crown one's kind of long. So actually, let's do the Gemini one. 'Cause I think it's funny and clever. Actually, no, I'm going to do the crab one because it's in a different location.
Okay.
Yeah, so this I think is more inside the house. I will say you kind of explore either different parts of the same map or the same map sometimes, which is fine. It's usually like a bunch of different stuff on the map.
Where they place you is usually very specific.
Yes. And there is a kind of light story going on. You get these little cutscenes, very stylized. That's just sort of like people on Earth being like, "Where'd the stars go?" But they're fun. It just adds more to the sort of.
There's a little
flavor and
girl who is
personality.
constantly feeling the cosmos.
Yes.
Was it the second one where during the load screens you could move his head around and he would barf out letters?
I
yes,
think that was
okay.
the
I loved
one.
that. And
Yes,
then you
me
could,
too.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
I think we all agree we love Katamari. It's also a really
Katamari
great
is
game.
great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I would say those are the two like great ones. This one
Oh, yeah.
and We Love Katamari. I played and enjoyed the other ones, but I don't know. If,
None of them ever quite hit the same note
no,
for me.
no.
I really liked them, but yes, I totally know what you're saying. I do. I just want that second one though. I hope you put it out. I'm stuck on the big crab.
He too big.
They should put the Prince in Smash Brothers.
That would be awesome.
They should put the
Yes.
King of all
I know, the King of all
Cosmos.
Cosmos would be
Yes.
Like he should be revealed to be the Master Hand.
Oh god, that'd be great.
It makes sense.
Yes.
But you can see before I started kind of probably like 3 feet tall, and this one I started much, much smaller.
Yes.
Like you can see the person there.
You were trying to pick up the tiny
Yes.
crabs first.
And there's definitely a very fun thing where sometimes later on you'll start very small, and then by the end of it you are so big.
It's
that
ridiculous.
It's a pretty neat kind of transformation you get to watch.
I like games where you play as a tiny thing in a big world.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
Toy
me too.
Commander. You got this World 4 of Mario 3.
Bad
else?
Mojo
Bad Mojo.
plays Cockroach.
Chibi Robo.
TV Robo plays a little robot.
Mm-hmm.
Moss plays a mouse.
Moss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nailed it. Not too big for under there, I think.
Too big, too fast.
Every song in this game.
Yep. There are zero non-bangers. Every single one is a banger in its own way.
They all slap.
Yeah. No, you did it. You said it right. That's
Did I?
that's the
Okay.
correct way.
Does that just mean I associate the slap with like a drop? You know what I mean? But I feel like they're not the same.
I think it's like a knee slapper. Like you're slapping along with the beat.
Oh,
You know.
that makes me not want to say it.
Benny, what's a drop?
Drop?
Yeah.
So where the music goes, like, hey, wait for the drop, dude.
Damn it, I thought you were going to be with me and not understand.
No. Wait
Come
for
on,
the
Dan.
wait
You know
for the
how
drop.
words work.
It's like when the solo in Freebird starts?
Sure.
Okay.
It's like, you know,
I get the drop.
A lot of songs will have like a slow start, and then you're like, wait, it's gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it like gets good.
Got
I
it.
feel like everything kicks in.
Yeah, I feel like dubstep is like a big thing that every song has a drop.
Oh, okay.
God, dubstep. Talk about being out of touch.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about a fucking genre no one cares about anymore.
Wow.
Is that not popular anymore?
I don't think. I mean, it might still be. I have no idea.
It was in
actually.
every game trailer for like 4 years.
Yeah, I think everyone just got tired of making fun of it. So maybe people still like it, but no one is making fun
Is
of it
anyone
anymore.
making new dubstep though?
Skrillex.
Yeah, where's Skrillex?
Okay. Is he though? Like he must adapt with the times. I feel like.
I don't know. He's still around. You know, like that dude is still getting DJ sets, but I have no
Okay,
idea like if
okay.
he's making new music or not.
He's probably making the same exact stuff, and people are calling it a different thing. Like, oh, it's Chem Step. I'm sure that's a thing.
Step.
Barfcore.
Man, that shit barfs.
Yeah.
Let's get that started.
Yo, wait for the wretch.
Yeah. I like bass that heaves.
Ew.
God. I don't like any of this.
You know what doesn't heave? Katamari Damacy.
Yeah. I mean, I get this whole thing. You kind of get the idea. We're
Yeah.
smaller. I think it's real
There's
fun.
crabs.
I do want to show the bear level because I think that's even more of a diversion from their usual formula.
Let's jump over to the bear level.
Yeah, I'll pop out.
Crabs.
Go to home planet.
Think you can I think somebody could make like an amusement park style Katamari real life thing where you get like a big sticky ball that you have to roll around and pick
I
up
think
toys.
so.
You think it'd be too hard to
It's
roll?
also
The
like what's-
sanitizing situation
Yes,
would be
and once you
hard.
have like one layer,
Yeah, it wouldn't stick anymore.
It wouldn't stick anymore. Exactly.
You need the magic.
Yeah.
What if everything on the floor were sticky?
Wow. That makes you think.
Sounds like a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, you could probably only do it once.
Yeah.
So this level, we are remaking Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper, and that is a bear for those who aren't familiar with the constellation. So we are going to roll up bears. But the thing is, we only want one bear. We just want the biggest bear. So we have to roll up everything else, make our Katamari as big as possible. But the second we roll up a bear,
Right.
we are the level's done.
Forgot about this one. Yeah.
So it's tricky. It's tough.
I wanna
Because there
say
are a
this-
lot of small bears around.
I want to say this is the level that drove me the most crazy
Yes.
early on.
So you can't roll up any bear?
Any bear.
Any bear. The second you roll up a bear, it's over.
That's your bear.
So you want to find the
Yeah.
biggest bear possible.
Oh man, that bear. Bear looks angry.
Yeah, so you see those little bears down there. I don't want those. So this is one, especially because the formula so far has been like, roll everything, don't think, roll, roll, roll. And now this is a little more, I have to be a bit more deliberate, which is kind of interesting.
More thinky.
It does smart things, because if it was the exact same roll shit up thing every level, I could see it getting kind of old, but like they are really clever with the like, oh, this one you're getting crabs, this one you're avoiding things, you know?
Right, yes. And that's why I kind of am, why I want, ooh, a present, I want that. But anyway, that's kind of why I want the second one, because I feel like it does even more clever stuff. Like I remember one where you're just rolling up a bunch of snow, and I feel like there's no time limit, and it was just like so
I remember
relaxing.
That one.
And I was
Do you ever use
big fan.
the jump?
So I have this jump. Oh,
that's a bear!
Damn it! I was about to jump. I wasn't thinking. Anyway,
Why was
the
the bear?
song's
in
over.
It says something about like, oh, funky dunk. Is that song?
Oh, maybe.
I like that one.
He's gonna be mad.
That's a tiny bear.
Microscopic bear. Oh boy.
Dad's angry.
Uh-oh. I'm sorry. Okay, it's bigger. Create. Anyway, I'll go back and actually do that one. But I never use the jump. There is like a jump. There's a look. The jump is just for the prince to jump.
The Katamari does not go up.
The Katamari does not go up. In some later games, they have those mechanics for better and for worse, I think. But yeah, this is Katamari. I think it's still a great game. I think it aged really well. There are definitely some parts that I think were improved upon in the later games that I wish that they put into this game. But for a straight port, I think it does an excellent job. I've had no problems running it. I think it's still super fun.
Yeah, I
highly recommend it.
I will say I've noticed a couple of little frame rate issues here and there on the Switch version, but it is definitely a game that runs much better on this platform certainly than it did on the PS2.
Sure. Yes. I think I am less particular about that stuff.
That's fair.
So as long as it is not super hitchy, I don't really mind.
Still plays great.
Still plays great. It's a fucking rad-ass game. If you've never played it, definitely get into it. If you have before, I think it's still worth picking up again and revisiting it.
Right on.
Hey.
Alrighty. Thanks,
Thanks,
you
Abby.
guys.
Thank you.